Hello everyone, I'm Benitez, Library Assistant at Seguin Public Library. Welcome to our virtual Indie Author Day 2020 live reading. We are going to get started. So our first author is Fernando Rover Jr. Fernando is an author born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. He earned a dual BA in English and History from Texas Lutheran University. His writing interests range from millennial interests, popular culture, Black male experience, feminism, LGBTQ, and spoken word poetry. His work has appeared in Odyssey, Caged Bird, Buddies, Black Press USA, and the San Antonio Observer. In 2019, he released a poetry anthology, Labyrinth, available on Amazon. Labyrinth was awarded the 2019 Best Indie Book Award for Poetry and the 2020 Literary Titan Award. Everybody welcome Fernando.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to the Seguin Public Library for having me part of their 2020 National Indie Author Day. As Mara mentioned, my name is Fernando Rover Jr. I am a poet and author from San Antonio, Texas. And I'm going to read some selections from my debut poetry anthology, Labyrinth. I'm going to start with the story of kind of how the book came to be. In 2016, I got a chance to travel abroad to Scotland and actually go on an actual pilgrimage. And while I was there was a rock formation labyrinth, like a pathway that was in the ground. I asked the groundskeeper, what it was, and he explained to me the meaning behind it and the importance of, how it symbolizes journey, pilgrimage, and all that entailed. That it really inspired me to really do my own sort of soul searching. And so from 2016 all the way to 2019, I worked on this book, and I was very excited to get it published and then to get the critical acclaim that it's gotten. So I have a couple of selections that I have selected. So the first one actually was inspired by, so around 2017, I unfortunately lost my sister. She passed away at age 29. And there was, the moment where, you have to go and pack up their belongings and all the other stuff. It was pretty hard, you know what I mean? And I think many would agree that there's no other journey besides grief. Grief is its own journey. So the title of this poem is called Morning After. Sunshine may have come, but it is still raining in my heart. Tears have caved in, and water has run down. The sound of your voice is but a whisper, becoming faint in the night. Words left unsaid take residency in my brain. Closure and understanding still look for a vacancy. Funeral black surrounds me since you went away. It appears I took my last breath of life when you last took yours. Sunshine may have come, but it is still raining in my heart. Tears have caved in, and water has run down. All that remains in this empty heart of mine are drawers of memory and boxes of lost time. So that was. I remember we had packed up everything. I remember I had the vision of like boxes actually, like, we were packing everything, like doing everything in storage, and that last line was the last thing I thought, and I was like, and then I like how I titled it, because I titled it Morning After because, like, the morning after, we started doing everything, but also, the play on words, like, we mourn someone after they pass away. So, the next one I actually going to read is it's a poem called Quilts. It was inspired by my grandparents, actually. Quilts hold a very important meaning in families. They're oftentimes passed down through generation. They tell the journey of your family, the history of your family. And my grandmother had several different quilts, and she was telling me about the quilt that she got from her great grandmother, and in our families, on my maternal family and my paternal family. So it's called Quilts. Many lives lived, woven together to form the spirit within. Hands laid, hands tied, hands clapped, down by the riverside. Different textures, threads like roots, placed firmly in my blood, runs deep like a stream without end. Take a string, put it into a thread, puncture my arm in full, repeat several times. Each time a new stitch is created, I ground myself in myself. Each stitch becomes a root, reconciled, retightened, stitch by stitch, thread by thread. I remove my shirt, revealing the patches on my chest, a patch from the house on Forest Street, a patch on blue. I wear these patches like the badges of honor, insignia of those who came before me. These men are my tailors, hands of sons, fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and brothers. And so this next poem, again, it was inspired by my family as well, inspired by the conversations that I've had with my family, and just, learning that, heritage is its own journey, and heritage really is its own labyrinth in a lot of ways too. So this one is called Scattered Roots. We are your sons, brothers, husbands, and fathers. Our pain passed down from generation to generation. Young man, black man, brother man. What do you see when you look in the mirror? What I see is our family. I see your father and his father. I see your brother and his brother. The tapestry of the American family woven together knot by knot. Grandfather, brought out of bondage. You carried the American dream on your back, the roots that form the branches of our family tree. One branch became unattached, scattered and squandered. That branch became your son, led astray, wandered into the woods, taking your pain with him. This became our legacy, what was left of our family tree. Passed down from brother to brother and father to son, love, like pain and heritage, can never be forgotten. The very pulse embedded within our being. Love returned the scattered and squandered son, revealing the path others have taken before him. On this journey, he came to know himself. The pain, the struggle, the journey would bring him back where it all started, his roots. The story of the saints, the pain of the people, memorialized for you and me to see. No journey is without struggle. No passage is without pain. No promised land is without peril of doubt. Our roots are not scattered. Our legacy is not lost. Our pain is what connects us. Our love is what heals us. Brings us home when we are led astray. I see my life, my father's life, and my grandfather's life, reflected in the tapestry of the American dream. And so the final poem that I want to read for y'all actually was the second to last poem that I actually submitted put it in for the book, but it was actually one of the first ones I actually written. I actually revised it several times because it just didn't feel finished. I didn't feel like it was, it was ready. And the inspiration came from a creative writer. He's a poet, actually a local poet in San Antonio. His name is Christopher Martinez, but the stage name is Rooster. Don't ask me why. His name is Rooster. And he was holding a creative writing session, and he said, "Okay, I want you guys we're going to go around the room, and we're going to, the first word that comes to mind, each of you are going to say it, and you're just going to write it down." So we each went around the room, and we each wrote our word, and the word that each person said. He said, "Okay, you're going to create a poem out of only using these words." And I think he was like a 2 minute time limit. And it was really cool because, writer's block is something really hard to kind of get through. And so sometimes when I have an idea of the poem or an idea of the story, I'll just write the words down, and then it kind of connect itself and kind of present itself to me. So I remember I liked this poem, but I didn't like it in its original form. So I decided to do something where I wanted to pay homage to every book that inspired me to be an author. So I just literally wrote down titles of the books that I've either read or I've either heard of, or well-known books, and I actually put the title in the poem. So when I read it, it's so amazing how certain people will pick out which titles, and they'll recognize it. So this poem is called Black Manifesto. I am man-child in the promised land, a native son who speaks of rivers. I am invisible man, the spook who sat by the door. I am the water dancer when Melindy sings the weary blues. The ground on which I stand let the dead bury their dead. I am tragedy of white justice. Tongues untied, go tell it on the mountain. I am a gathering of old men on a lonely crusade, the audacity of hope for divine days. I am smoke, lilies, and jade and copper sun, fences with roots in Harlem shadows. I am 7 guitars playing my soul's high song, the wisdom of silence that conceive powerful conversations. I am sons of darkness and sons of light, souls of black folk on fire and ice. I am black skin and white masks in red summer, the system of Dante's hell somewhere in the darkness. I'm in the marginal recesses of our human condition, the hidden marrows of our social tradition. I am tales brought up from slavery, ceremonies of the talented temp. I am messages to the black man, Manifesto. And another cool thing about this book actually is that I actually included photographs. So I actually took pictures when I was actually in Scotland, and every couple of pages there's a different picture. And so I did it this way because there wasn't really a poetry book that I found that incorporated poetry and photography, and I thought it would kind of give the reader a sense of the journey that I took, not just a physical journey, but even kind of it offers the reader a different perspective on what they're reading, and that way you're not just seeing words on a page, but actually seeing different visuals. And so I like that. That kind of was one of the things I thought was very. I've never seen a poetry book with photography in it. So that was pretty cool. Do I have, how am I doing on time? Okay, I think I'll do one more poem actually, and that'll be good. So this one actually was inspired by my mother, actually. When I was in Scotland, we were on our pilgrimage, and the very first stop we did on our pilgrimage was, there was this, so when we were in Iona, several hundreds years ago, Iona was home to the monks and the nuns. And so the abbey, where we were actually having dinner and had worship, that's where the monks lived. And not too far from there was the nunnery where the nuns lived. Now the abbey has been restored several times over, but the nunnery is still in ruins. And it was interesting because the parallels between the role that women have played in the church and in different parts of the culture seem to have mirrored that. For some reason, the nunnery has never been restored and often has been overlooked or overshadowed by that of the abbey. And so one of the exercises was to kind of commemorate the role of women in the church. Is we were encouraged to say the names of the women who played a role in our lives to kind of give the nunnery that female energy again. And I said my mother, my sister, my friends, so on and so forth. And that experience I kind of brought with me and inspired me to write this poem. It's called Mama Dead. She is the spirit that awakens in you. It is her light that illuminates your darkness. You are the revolution born between her legs. Do you love her? Do you want her? She is the Freedmen's Bureau that defines you so that everyone will know your name. She fought for you on the battlegrounds of history, a fortress in memorial ruins. Let her name reverb through its walls. She wove together the journey of life with the 2 hands she used to carry you into this world. She brought the hope with her. She nurtured it, transformed it, brought it to fruition. She never cried, only dried your tears over her own, kind to a world so unkind to her. She battles betrayal and iniquity with grace and beauty. She is your daughter. She is your sister. Her daughter is your daughter. Her sister is your sister. She is your mother. Her mother is your mother. She is every woman, a force of nature undefined by the boundaries of humanity. She bears your past and future. She is the spirit and the day. Thank you, everybody. My name again is Fernando Rover, and happy National Indie Author Day. And if you'd like to get in contact with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and then my book, Labyrinth, is available online.